The first frame, Ricky Walden to break.
No one would be surprised if he made it 4 or 5.
Yeah, I was speaking to Mark Selby upstairs and he said he's not been playing much over Christmas and the New Year, but he's absolutely desperate to try and stay in this group, if not win it, so he can stay practicing in his hometown for the Masters against quality opponents.
Yeah, when you started out on your professional journey, Peter, if someone had said, well, you can practice for £100 a frame, which isn't your own money, you would have jumped at the chance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, getting paid to practice sounds like the dream job. Yeah, now, is that a bit fortunate, Phil, or is that a good shot when the white comes back out and goes behind the yellow? Are they playing it there? I'm not sure they are.
No, I'd err on the side of fortunate, definitely. But the thing is, when you put Mark Selby in a snooker, 9 times out of 10, you don't gain anything for it.
No, one of the best in the business. If not the best.
I really do think, and I'm not exaggerating, and I've tried to sort of temper how I feel about this, I really do think, in all the time I've been involved in snooker, he is the best at escaping snookers. I've said it in his earlier match today, and I'll repeat it. Can't think of anyone better.
Yeah, decent length on the safety. And a little bit awkward. Now with the red coming to the right, which you can't see for the green. Can't drop the white onto the black cushion either, so... got to be very careful here.
Foul. Mark Selby 4.
That's one way to get it back down the table.
Yeah, the in-off safety always guarantees some form of distance, unless there's a red in bulk, of course.
Yeah, that's a lot better shot than it looks as well on this very slippy cloth. Playing it with all that check side to avoid the pack of reds on the way back down the table.
Yeah, for all of his success this afternoon, 2 wins out of 2, Ricky was telling me that when you play with side on this cloth, you best be accurate.
Yeah, Mark Selby this morning, he got himself into this position
3.
on a number of occasions where you think he'll probably go on to make a sizable break, but because he wasn't fully in stroke, kept making unforced errors.
4.
Selby's most notable unforced error was a red to the pocket he's just knocked that red to. That was in his first match against Matthew Selt. basically Selt made 80 in the first frame. Selby came back, breaks a 57-53 to lead 2-1. Selt had started missing and missing often. Selby got in early in the fourth frame.
12.
You overwhelmingly thought he was going to win 3-1, but he missed a really simple red with the rest, not doing anything at all with the cue ball. Selt made 91 to force a decider, in which he made a break of 127 to win 3-2. Then, next time out against Jordan Brown, even though Selby won 3-1, he didn't make any breaks of
90.
note.
Again there, the cannon's gone wrong. But this is a lot more tricky than it should have been. Looks like he's playing to a lot of check sides and maybe hope for the black.
20.
Yeah, that was a nice little shot, but not out of the woods yet. Now, do any of those reds go into the
27.
left and black pocket? If not, it's going to have to be into the reds.
$28.
It looks like they probably do then, with the angle he's left.
$33. $34.
Can't escape the feeling that this is a really important match for Mark Selby. He's got 2 matches in this session. He's last up against Rob Milkins over on table 2. I think if he can win one of the 2, I think he'll come back tomorrow a different animal.
42.
Looking much better here. The control's better.
49.
Speeded up a little bit.
50.
Now, as it come a
57.
little bit low here, may have to bring some other reds into play. Yeah, now if he takes the black,
58.
it's very similar to one he missed earlier on in the match, in the day.
Yeah, it was against Brown, wasn't it? And he overcut it.
All the balls are on, so has to get it. Yeah, good shot. Still 75 left on
65.
though, so does need one more red.
Yeah, the World 6 Reds qualifying competition starts up in your neck of the woods, Peter, at the weekend. And anyone who plays 6 Reds knows you can make a 75 break. There's still just a glimmer of hope for Walden.
$66. Mark Selby, 66.
Yeah, no, that's the cardinal sin there. You put yourself through possibly 10, 15 minutes of agony just by not putting that ball and killing the frame off in one go. It's only one snooker for Ricky Walden.
And I don't want to sound like a broken record, Peter, but the overwhelming majority of the pots he's missing have been balls that he's overcut, and he did that with the blue quite noticeably.
Yeah, it's just a timing issue probably. Just miss-hitting them slightly. Normally when you decelerate a little, you always catch the ball too thin. He doesn't really want to pot one of these balls because he does need all blacks. I suppose unless he kisses the black on like that.
By the look on your face, Peter, you're saying to yourself, why don't I get kisses like that?
No, I once got a good kiss, I remember it. 1987 it was.
Folks, you think he's joking, he really means it.
No.
Yeah, in another 5 or 10 minutes time, Mark Selby could be regretting that blue he missed.
16.
We may see
17.
Ricky take this red and the red in the middle of the table. Ideally he'd like to take all the reds, but with one of them a little bit awkward, because the snooker from yellow in behind the brown and blue. Oh my word.
Ricky Walden, 17.
That's the end now. So Mark Selby, with his highest break of the day so far, takes the opening frame. Could Ricky Walden's unbeaten status be under threat? .66 is the number of the evening session so far here at the Morningside Arena in Leicester. It is Group 3 of the Bedvictor Championship League, Day 1.
Second frame.
66 for Mark Selby in the first frame to win it against Ricky Walden. Over on Table 2, I can tell you Kyron Wilson leads Jamie Jones 1-0. And guess what? He made a 66 break as well. Actually, Wilson's 66 was rather unusual the way it began. Jones was in, tried to pot a pink, and he caught the reds first. Owned up to the foul shot, and Wilson did the rest. Now look at this. Look at this. Plumb in so early in a frame, Peter.
Yeah, shocker from Ricky, I'm afraid. Doesn't matter whether Mark's been playing or not, he's soon going to find his touch, and you can't keep leaving him chances like this.
So from personal experience, Peter, tell us, when you've had a short time off from the game, how long do you feel as though it takes to get right back to where you should be?
9.
A week?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think it depends. Sometimes you can just hit the ground running straight away, you know, and something just clicks, and then you can come in on day 2 and it can have all gone again. But yeah, I'd probably say a week of
16.
practice before you're back in full swing. But obviously most players are playing a good 6-7 hours a day or something, so that's still quite a lot of hours in a week. But again, that's basically in practice though. Coming into the match table is then a totally different affair again. When you're not in stroke and you play on this really slidey cloth against a tough opponent,
24.
you start to question yourself. You start to question your technique and stuff like that, and before you know it, you're all over the place.
25.
I know you're a bit of a golfer, Phil, and I suppose like going to the driving range is totally different to being out on the course
32.
playing in match play.
Well, the point is, when you hit a ball on a driving range, it doesn't really matter, does it? You can lose it over a fence, you can top it, you can do whatever. You've always got another one to go to. But in a match, in a snooker match, if you miss, you miss. And the other guy is going to be swooping down to take full advantage.
Yeah, because you know, you may do a practice session and you see a lot of players and you hear a lot of players saying they've been practicing a long pot and they'll practice long pot after long pot after long pot.
39.
But it's about being able to knock that long pot in when it comes in the one occasion and you have to knock it in first time. Where you see if your technique will stand up.
Mark Selby.
Well, at least he didn't overcut that one. And I don't think he's done an awful lot of damage either.
Yeah, Ricky not had much to go at so far.
Historically, Selby has had the better of their meetings. Outside of the Championship League, he leads Walden 12-5 in terms of head-to-head wins. In the Championship League, this is the 10th anniversary, by the way, of their first meeting. Selby leads Walden 6 wins to 2. Their most recent meeting in a ranking event was in the first round of the British Open at the start of the season. Selby won 4-1. Now bear in mind, Walden was just outside the top 16 at the time and he's drawn Mark Selby. He's looking around at the other tables, seeing a lot of other top players up against lower ranked opposition, in some cases much lower ranked. And I thought at the time, how does he feel? I asked him this afternoon, how did you feel? He went, how do you think I felt? I mean, that is a brutal draw, isn't it? If you're just outside the top 16 and you get Mark Selby in the first round.
Yeah, crazy. But that's the beauty of the open draw system, I suppose.
Remember a few years ago, Ali Carter got to the final of the World Grand Prix in Cheltenham and he was off straight afterwards to play in the Welsh Open the next day against Stuart Bingham. First round, Carter Bingham.
Well, that looked like it was going to drop.
Well, I think Selby was the victim of his own accuracy there.
1.
He got a little too close to that for his own good. Had he missed it by more, it would have come away from the pocket, and Walden might not have had this chance.
That was nicely controlled though from Ricky. Not easy to judge when they're so close to the pocket, but he's come off lovely for the black.
8.
But he won't be happy with that one. He's come up a good foot short there, although it could work out in his favour now, because he may have to go into the reds. Trust to a bit of luck, hope he gets on a colour, develop all the balls. That's what he's looking at. I think this is going to turn into a frame winning chance for someone very quickly.
Pink goes past the middle pocket. Red blocks the black. Does Walden chance his arm?
I think he must do, yeah. Just fully commit to it. Don't overhit it.
Ricky Walden now.
Now moving the red away from the pocket has at least made this missable and difficult to control, possibly. This is Ricky's only hope, I'm afraid.
One.
And there you go. Wasn't easy to control. Ricky a little bit fortunate to move that red. Although if the black passes, I still expect Mark to knock this in.
Well, for me, that's one of his best shots of the day.
Yeah, cracking shot.
6.
Looks like 2-0.
7.
Karen Wilson, Championship League specialist. He's won both versions, ranking and invitation.
50.
He's got a habit of making big breaks in the invitation event, particularly. He made 22 on the way to capturing this title in 2021. 22 centuries, that is. And he could be about to make another one here. We'll let you know. What we do know, he's going to be 2-0 up on Jamie Jones.
$23.
And by the way, if you're a fan of Karen Wilson, he will play the last match here on table 1 this evening against Jordan Brown.
28.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a must-win for Jordan Brown if he wants to have any hopes of staying in the group, never mind qualifying.
Okay. 29.
Yeah, Brown's up next against Ricky Walden.
$36. 37.
Selby not firing on all cylinders, but definitely looking a lot more fluent.
42. 43.
Forget what he's done so far today. He's undercooked in terms of preparation. But I think as the second half of the season goes on, Peter, now he's won the English Open, now he's got some more silverware in the cabinet, I think he could have a really good
47.
end to the campaign.
Yeah, definitely. And I think also the victory over Neil Robertson, someone he hasn't beaten for a while, will give him the
47
confidence to
frame
know
marks
he
up.
can beat anybody again.
Confidence is coming back after his Christmas break. I'm not saying he's played the best snooker in the world, but he's played nicely so far in this match, and he leads by 2 frames to 0. The 2 matches currently being played here at the Morningside Arena in Leicester are almost synchronised. It is 2-0 on both tables.
The
Ricky
third
Walden
frame. Ricky
in
Walden.
trouble against Mark Selby. On table 2, Corin Wilson 2-0 up on Jamie Jones. The break we saw in the second frame ended at 97. And I can tell you, Wilson is banging amongst the balls early in frame 3. I think that qualifies as bang in, don't you, Peter?
It looks like it to me.
8.
And Selby's banging as well then.
Nine. One.
We get looked after so well here at the Championship League. The tea this evening was lasagna. I ate mine with Ricky. Obviously, while it was beautiful to eat, it's not agreed with him. He looked so good in the first
8.
2 matches. In this one, nothing there really.
9.
No, he's just not. He's not offered anything at the moment, I'm afraid. After being so fluent in the first couple of games, he's just made it too easy for Mark. Mark keeps coming to the table and he's got balls hanging. Nice easy starters.
16.
Selby not pulling up trees either himself, but just doing enough.
You know, it pays to keep your foot on the pedal in these groups. We saw a classic example of that in groups 1 and 2, in fact, from Ryan Day, who made electrifying starts and then just faded away.
crucial, I feel, that Ricky pots the next ball after this safety exchange. Black in the open. Lots of reds out. That's a poor safety shot, kissing the brown full ball. Potting has not been at it today at all. Can he knock this one in?
1.
This table is so responsive. He did that ridiculously easy.
Yeah, no body movement whatsoever. The head stayed rock solid.
Mark Selby, 1.
And then he's missed the green. Now Ricky's got to make this count. I think the black will point to the right hand corner, but I'm not sure if the red above it is covering the black spot when he gets potted, so won't want to pot it until it's clear.
1. Seven. 8.
'Played down deliberately to clear the black spot.
13.
The green does pot, but you'd have to be pretty precise on it.
14.
So opted to go down for the blue, but I think he's possibly come up a little bit short and landed dead straight.
Nineteen. 20.
Walden's enjoyed some big occasion success against Selby. He beat him 6-3 in the last 16 of the International Championship in 2012. Of course, his breakthrough, Walden's that is,
27.
came at the 2008 Shanghai Masters when he beat Selby in the semi-finals,
28.
6-4, and then O'Sullivan in the final. So he knows what it takes.
Yeah, you can't begrudge anyone beating those players on the way to victory.
35. 36.
Well, he stopped in his tracks there. Surely he hasn't snookered himself on the black.
Talk about a delay. You don't see that very often, do you?
43.
Jaw, in.
Well, I didn't think that one was going to drop. I don't think Ricky did either.
44.
And look at the table. Okay, the green is in an alien position, but these balls are clearable. Big break for Jamie Jones
49.
on table 2. We saw Wilson in earlier. Well, he made 22. He missed a tricky red to a blind pocket,
50.
just shaved the near jaw. It stayed on the table, and this is the result.
So game on now on both matches.
$57.
95.
$58. $61.
99.
62.
104.
The production of centuries in this group has been a little slower than in Group 1 and 2, but there's still plenty of
69.
time to
110.
make amends. That's the second of the group, delivered by Jamie Jones.
70.
A run of 117 to stay in the contest. And talking about staying in the contest, that's precisely what Ricky Walden's doing.
77.
Yeah, if this black
78.
goes in, the second ton could be closely followed by the third.
$85.
I was making the
87.
point to Dave Hendon earlier, Peter. Ricky Walden, he's one of those players who
90.
isn't really known for how speedily he plays, but he really gets on with it when he's in the balls. So fluent.
94.
Yeah, very much so. Very nice to watch
99.
when he's in full flow. No messing about, straight down.
$105.
Well, I said they were clearable,
Third frame.
if clearable is a
Ricky
word.
Walden.
And that's what Ricky Walden has done. He really needed that to get going in the match, and who's to say it won't be the catalyst to a full-scale recovery. Walden trails 2-1. It was a Meatloaf who said 2 out of 3 ain't bad. And I'll tell you what, Mark Selby would gladly take 2 out of 3 in terms of wins in this group. To do so, he has to get to 3 frames in this match. He would love to win this one and avoid the tension of a decider.
Started with a nice break-off shot.
Thanks.
He's in a bit of trouble if he can't clip this. Yeah, just about get there, so it was okay. Like a bit of meatloaf, Phil, do you, by the way? Is that on your playlist?
I wouldn't say so. It just sticks out, that song, somehow.
One.
Now will Ricky commit to the black?
Just thinking about those Meatloaf lyrics. Yeah, 2 wins out of 3 in terms of matches. That's true. It ain't bad, but it certainly doesn't apply to pot success rate. If you have a 66% pot success rate in pro snooker, you can go home.
Yeah, most of the time you will go home.
9.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Walden can come back here and win
14.
3-2, with 3 points, at the very least, he's going to be in Group 4. And with his non-involvement in the Masters, he can give everything to this week.
Yeah, Ricky does look like he's been putting a little bit of practice in over Christmas and the New Year. I'm not sure how much, but he looks in
15.
better touch than some of the others. And there's the commentator's curse. He's, just as I said that, he's played a terrible cannon.
Yellow ball. Ricky Walden.
He'll be furious with
15.
himself there. It was a routine shot. Still 3 reds in the open. Didn't follow it with a great safety shot either.
1.
Hasn't it been a strange old day for Mark Selby? He's knocked in so many really good pots. And he's also missed a bucketful.
Cheering me up, Phil. Making me feel okay.
7.
A wry smile there from Ricky Walden, sat in his seat. Played such a bad shot with the cannon that he didn't give the safety shot enough due care and attention, and then 10 seconds later Selby's plumbing amongst the balls with a frame winning opportunity.
14.
That's how quickly the game can change round.
Doesn't want a
15.
repeat of what happened at the corresponding stage of his first match. He was 2-1 up on Matt Selt. Had a truly glorious chance, much like this. In fact, perhaps even better. And he missed the simplest of reds, using the rest. Has he left the black short here? Oh. It reached, but it didn't go in. It toppled in.
22.
Yeah, these two have got the pace of the table. Just dropping everything in dead weight.
23. 30. $31.
Yeah, Mark will be concentrating hard here. He knows how
38.
good a chance this is to win the match. And get on the pink right.
$39.
Now does the red to the extreme left pot, or is it going to be the one to the extreme right? Yeah, that's a nicely controlled shot. Just found the gap nicely.
45.
And for all of his mistakes today, if Selby does win this frame, and therefore the match 3-1,
46.
they will shake hands with Selby, having replaced Walden at the top of the table.
Yes, and it wouldn't surprise you if this was
53.
the final tomorrow night.
54.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I also think Karen Wilson will be a real factor in this group.
$61. $62.
Again, just indicative of how responsive the table is. Hardly touched that cue ball and it came back as though on a piece of string.
Yeah, 47 in front. So just this pink. Ah, that's a nice shot to really force that angle out to make that cannon. And he's knocked it
68.
on perfect. Walden already needs a snooker, so this will cement the frame.
69.
And now we know the pink goes past the red. We could be seeing the second century of the match. Walden knows all about Selby's high
75.
scoring. Twice Selby has beaten Walden, having made
76.
3 centuries in the match in question. Last 32 of the World Championship in 2009. German Masters 2019.
83. 84.
What is the
91.
standard, Phil, scoreline that you need? How many points you need to make it to the semi-finals? Is it 3, 4?
You're absolutely sure with 4. Well,
93.
mathematically actually not sure, but you'd need something extraordinary not to be in the semi-finals with 4. To be in the top 5, again,
96.
if you've got 3 wins, you should be okay.
Right.
So our statistical guru, David Hendon, sent me this message earlier on to tell me Selby needs one more century for 750, and there it is. 750 centuries in professional competition. Not bad for a grinder.
111.
We've just seen the best of Mark Selby there. He defeats the previously undefeated Ricky Walden by 3 frames to 1 and moves to the top of the Bedvictor Championship League Group 3 table.